Welcome, everybody, to another exhilarating reaction episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Victor with the first blood, my friend. Welcome. Welcome, my friends. Title of this one is Inmate Got Pregnant in Jail. Y'all ain't gonna believe how. Well, I guess I kind of broke it down a little bit for you, didn't I? Through the vents. How does one get pregnant through a vent in jail, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna find out today. We're gonna listen to a little news channel. We're doing more of a little test run of the new setup. Hopefully the soundboards are in the right spot. I probably have to do some tweaking. And yeah, we're back. It's been like 3 days since I've done a video, man. Whew. Tell you what, I miss y'all. But yeah, no toilet. I'm gonna break down the toilet thing and all that here in this episode, because I know quite a bit about these kind of escapades. You know what I mean? Trust me, I do. Laugh out loud. She tripped and fell into the vent. Duh. Look, this story, I'm not gonna lie. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. This story, let me see if I can lower it and see it a little bit. This story is unlike anything I've ever heard, and I've heard a lot of stuff coming from prison and jail. You already know that, man. We've been doing this for like a decade. So close to 1 million, it's insane. You're blowing up, man. I wouldn't say blowing up, but I'd say a steady, consistent pace. You know what I mean? It ain't stopping, that's for sure. We're almost at that milli, and that giveaway's coming. But this story today is unlike anything I've ever heard, man. It's unreal, but I mean, it really isn't. Like I said, I've heard of these kind of things going on. Good afternoon, big dog. Hope all is well on the home front. God bless you and the fam, my guy. Appreciate that, EKJ. I like that. EKG, but no, it's J. God, I hate those EKG machines, man. When I was having my panic attacks, I'd have to go get rigged up to one of them things like a car engine every week. But appreciate that 5-piece, my friend. Yeah, Nephilim, you got here just in time. You sure did. $1 million giveaway. No, 1 million subscriber giveaway. Not giving away none of my subscribers, of course, you know. No, not giving away $1 million, dude. I wish I had 1 million. But let's get into this. Oh, wait, first I gotta switch this over here, because we're doing this live. So hopefully everything works out just dandy. Oh, and all my hats are sold out. Oh, I got one black hat left, and I think I got like 8 or 7 camos. So if y'all need one, better jump on it. I'll be restocking them here soon, and I'll be modeling some new merch as well. Sweats and stuff, a little sweatsuit, you know what I mean? But let's get this going. We're going to listen to this news article. It's coming from Miami, Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the madness is coming from Miami. You know, I have never been there personally. I've been to, Universal Studios, Orlando, all that, but never been to Miami. It looks wild. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a wild show out there. Durst, Sue. Man, my interviews are on hold right now until I get everything set up right the way I want it and get into the groove of things. You know what I mean? The holidays are here too, so it's really been kind of hectic on my side of things. But we'll get there. We'll get there, man. Stay with me. Hit me up on Instagram and we'll get it done. Let's start this news story.
Exclusive interview with 7 Investigates. The 29-year-old says even she can't believe it happened.
Hang on, y'all. Hang on. I had to pop out chat here. And I don't want it there. There we go. Let's restart it. Miami, Florida. Pregnant in jail without even touching the guy. Unreal.
Exclusive interview with 7 Investigates. The 29-year-old says even she can't believe it happened.
It's a real twist. It is. Everybody says it to me. This is like some Lifetime movie network.
Link is locked up awaiting trial, charged with second-degree murder. Police say this is Link holding a gun after shooting her boyfriend in the leg, killing him. She has been an inmate at TGK for more than 2 years. But in June, Link gave birth to this baby girl.
She's a miracle baby.
She is definitely a miracle baby, all right? So she's in jail for murder, killing, I can't remember, boyfriend, husband, whichever one. I can't remember what it said. Already forgot. Yeah, this is a real mind bender. I got to get this chat window right, y'all. I apologize. Let me bring it over here. There it is. So, she's in jail for murder. All right, and you heard what they said. She shot her man in the leg. And, you know, I just wanted to say to anybody out there that thinks it's like the movies or something where you pop someone in the leg and, you know, they'll live. You know, it's just you're teaching them a little lesson or something. You know, got mad at him. I'll shoot him in the foot or leg or something, you know, and he'll be all right. He'll walk it off and go to the hospital or something. Don't think like that. All right, like the leg is like one of the most dangerous spots to get shot, right? There's so many arteries running through your legs. Like you pop one of them, the blood's gonna be trickling like the 4th of July, I swear. Don't be shooting nothing, especially in the leg, you know what I mean? But one shot to the leg, you would think usually if you're a detective or something, the person didn't mean to kill the individual. They probably really thought like how I broke it down before I, in the beginning. But I've interviewed some military cats, man, and one of them used to be, I believe, in the medical side of things in there, and he said, one of the worst places to get shot to the leg, especially if you don't know how to do all the tourniquet stuff and all that. But anyways, yeah, so she's in here for murder. Now check this out. They're gonna break it down even more, but I like to say it in my verbiations over here. But her man that gets her pregnant in jail is in there for murder as well. Can you believe that? 2 murders right next to each other with Vince connected, man. This is unlike anything I've ever heard.
It's a blessing.
A miracle, because Link says she's never met the father of her baby face to face.
I've never met him. It's crazy.
He was also a TGK inmate and, like Link, is charged with murder. The DNA results show inmate number 200147865.
Now look at his photo here, but the photo that I have in the thumbnail is what like every news station is running. Like, why are they running that photo? That must have been like his very first mugshot. Maybe that was his initial mugshot when he went in there for murder, but look at this. He is the father.
Jawan DePaz is the baby's father.
This call is from the Miami-Dade Metro West Detention Center.
So you guys have never physically touched each other?
Never. Like the Virgin Mary.
The big question here is, how did this happen?
Through the vent.
Link says she and DePaz started talking through AC vents in their cells.
All right, we got to break this down for a second, y'all. We got to break this down for a second here. AC vents. Speaking through the AC vents, okay? This is a real thing, and I've been. This is before, of course. I was married. Anytime, let's get this straight really quick. Anytime I speak about me and maybe a past story of girls or women, it was before I met Brittany. Well before. All right. So, anyways, I was in jail, man, and I had a cell that was right next to, or right under or above, I really can't remember which one it was. but we would remove the water. We had this technique where we had a cup and stuff, and we would remove the water from the toilet, drain the toilet completely out, and you can hear voices from another cell from the toilet, right? It's like a toilet phone. And usually it's just connected to, like, you'll hear other guys talking or something sometimes, but this one in particular was connected to the females pod. So every guy in the whole, everyone that we were close with in that cell would come in there and spit nothing but sweet nothings to these girls for, you know, hours on end, right? They're, you know, in front of the toilet. And I'm serious, man. A lot of these guys would start falling in love. No joke. Falling dead, head over heels in love. And, but I have never heard of anything like this. Well, I've seen other videos from, like, Miami, I believe, where they have the chain links where they'll flush a spork down the drain, and the drains are connected, so it'll go down a floor to the next cell block, and that spork will catch the other person's spork, and when they catch, the other person will pull it up, so there's transferring it. I've done a video on that one too. I've seen or heard of people doing it like that, but this is just some very extremely lucky stuff right here, right? Now, let me also say this before we move forward. Or actually, I'll talk about that when we get there. But when you're in jail and you have no one to talk to, and you're younger and you got your, you know, chemicals flowing, you'll fall in love quick with a voice, anything that you're craving. You know what I mean? And it'll blind you, man. He'll blind you. But you're in there for murder, too. These individuals in there for murder, they ain't got nothing else to look forward to. Might as well look at how much commotion, how many waves they started from this, right? So, it's crazy. Son, you're a vent baby. We're going to get there, man. I'm going to break down exactly how I would feel if I knew that my parents made me like that, right? I'm gonna break it down. I don't know if I like this lighting. I feel like it gives me bags, man. Maybe I'm looking at that photo. But let's press play. I got a few more things to say to this. Trust me. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying yourself. Share the video to all your ex-con friends and your grandmas, you know, that need to know stuff like this. Look out for the red flags, right?
You would knock on it and you can hear the people from the different floors. You would stand on the toilet actually to be able to talk to them.
They say they also passed notes and pictures.
Being in isolation for so long, you begin to spend hours and hours talking to this person, you know?
Isolation, right? 23-1. That's what she's talking about. Lockdown 23-1. Maybe 1 hour out a day. That's like, that guy is like her conscience. It's hard for me to say that word. It's one of those words hard for me to say. Conscience. It's like a voice in her head. He's probably there all the time. What you doing? What you doing? It's solitary confinement, right? You ain't got nothing to do. So I could completely see how this could, you know, evolve into what it did. You know, I could completely see it. Toilet talking love, baby. Don't ever say them dirty words ain't coming from the toilet.
To the point where it's almost as if you're in the same room with them.
Link and Deepa's formed a romantic relationship, and the 23-year-old shared his dream.
I always really wanted to have a baby, and I'm not going to get to do that for a really long time. So if I had to choose somebody, you know, it would be you. And she was like, yeah, we could do that.
DePaz came up with a plan.
If I spat those sweet nothings to a girl, you know, I'm facing life and a possible death. I don't have no kids. I gotta spread somehow, right? Spread my wings, my DNA, a little some way. Let them play, right? And I was just shooting my shot, you know, just fun playing, and the girl gets serious, like, let's do it. I'm doing it, right? Who ain't? You ain't, who cares, man? Might as well, you know. But let's talk about this really quick before they break down how they did it. I knew people that used to mail home their DNA to try to get their old lady pregnant. No bullcrap. Put it in a Ziploc and zip it all USPS it. I'm not even playing, man. Yeah, never worked that I heard of until, you know, something like this. This is a very rare anomaly here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see what the chat's saying real quick. But yeah, I mean, well, they're going to break it down here in a second. I saw this case pop up on Reddit. I knew you end up covering this. I was going to cover it, you know, my normal way of covering it because I had a funny way to do it. But I just say, let's go live. I'm going to do more test runs with this setup. $20 from Stump Grinder Bear. Appreciate you. I need to start speaking. See how the sound changes as the closer I get to the mic. That's how I need to do it. And I lean too far from the mic and it starts getting a lot of distortion, I guess you could say. Hey, this one is good. It's a good one. We're having fun. So hit that like button if you're having fun as well. Let's get back into the video. I appreciate that 20 clip and everyone's donating, man. Yeah, that's how it goes, Nephilim.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna go down in history.
Not gonna lie, this is gonna go down in history. Damn right it is. It damn sure is. I don't know if anybody... Actually, know what? I mean, no. Even if they want to, I don't think they can because this is an anomaly. They're gonna break. I'm gonna break it down why here in a second. This is a perfect. This was everything. It was meant to be almost.
I don't
Destiny.
know what my fate is. You kind of don't know what yours. If we're gonna go out, might as well just go out with a bang. You know, if it works, it works. But it definitely did.
I told her a way that one of my friends had showed me through the vent, because the vent is like an L shape, really. It drops right into my vent. From her room, she could throw a pen into the vent, and it'll land right into my vent.
We had figured out a way to drop the line. It was a line that we had established out of like bedding material.
I put the cement saran wrap every day, like 5 times a day, for like a month straight.
He would kind of...
He tried 5 times a day for a month straight, bro. Why do I get an image of SpongeBob and Patrick inside of Sandy's shell, Sandy's glass bowl, not realizing that there's no water in there, and then all of a sudden they get all parched. Suck dry, man. 5 times a day, dude. Electrolytes low as hell. He definitely made history. Yup. Survivors, man. Life will find a way, as Jurassic Park would say. Huh? This is all coming right off the top of the noggin, man. You know, this is called charisma. For anybody that needs to know what charisma is. But, this is unreal. Outlandish. Stupendous. 5 times a day, he would roll up his DNA and send it to her through a vent. And she'd chuck it right in. That's unreal. I got 4 daughters, so, you know, I think of things a little differently. Like, I think of every girl now to a whole higher standard, because I got 4 girls, so I hold them a high standard. So now I look at all girls like that. I'm like, man, what would I do if I found out my daughter got like that? You just have no other choice but to go with the flow, with the cards that you're dealt, right? You know, you never know what fate might throw your way. Never know.
Like rolled it up, almost like a cigarette, and he would attach it to the line that we had in the vent, and I would pull it through. From there, I had
listen to the music they're playing.
It was you know, the yeast infection, the yeast infection applicators.
No, I never had a yeast infection.
I had placed it inside of there, and then from there, yeah, I administered it.
She says it only took a few tries before she became pregnant.
I was very excited.
Women, they have those type of things you can get off of commissary for yeast infections? I had no idea, man. Oh, wow. This is crazy, ain't it, y'all? See, I keep looking this way because I got to move the pop-out chats. I haven't gotten everything arranged just right yet, but... Whew, this is just mind-blowing to me when I first heard it. It still is.
Excited. I was ecstatic about it.
Is this possible?
Yes, that's a short answer.
Dr. Fernando Ackerman is the medical director of the Fertility Center of Miami. He says the chances of this resulting in a successful pregnancy are...
Look at that Albanian black birch, bro. I ain't never seen a damn desk like this. Judges, you need to step your game up, man. The birth guys. Look at his backdrop too. It's almost as though he's copying mine.
Slim, but not
with
impossible.
With the blue light.
We estimated that
Look,
probably
it's my
the
room.
chances were less than 5%, but that is not to say that the chances were 0.
I think everything happened for a reason.
Over here, I'm like a celebrity.
Damn right
Their
you
baby
are,
is
bro.
now 5 months old. She's living with his mom, who became a grandmother for the first time. Lincoln DePaz, who are now in different jails, still talk on the phone and see their daughter on video visits.
Now, you may be wondering how this was able to happen without correctional officers realizing Miami-Dade Corrections has an internal affairs investigation, which officials tell us is ongoing.
All right, there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. But to answer that reporter's question, how did something like this go unnoticed? Well, maybe it's because the COs aren't working the ventilation shafts. They ain't making rounds in the V-ducts, bro. They ain't gonna be able to find that. How are they gonna see that happening, man? They don't need no internal investigation for that. Come on now. It's just learn from your mistakes and move forward. That's it. There's nothing else you can do about that.